Hello everyone, welcome to our first ever Youth Town Hall. I want to thank all of you and the City of Bowie for allowing this to happen. Special thanks to Ms. Pfeiffer, Ms. Hernandez, Ms. Cooper, and the entire staff for all they do in the background. We have a nice, intimate crowd today, so I would like to thank all of you guys for coming out this Thursday evening. So give it up for you guys. All right, awesome. So the goal for tonight is to introduce you all to the inaugural Youth Council. You get to hear from our amazing city leaders, and you get to learn more about services from different areas that your city provides. But most important, we get to hear from you guys. I will be giving out some prizes throughout the night, and we have some food and refreshments for at the end of our program. I would like to officially call this meeting to order. This time is now 7:13. Madam Secretary, if you could please take some informal notes, that would be appreciated. Awesome. All right, so let's get started, everyone. I would like to introduce our illustrious leader, Mayor Timothy Adams. Mayor Adams is a pillar in our community. Mayor Timothy J. Adams is an accomplished community leader with more than 30 years of experience in business, government, and philanthropy. On November 18th, 2019, Mayor Adams was sworn into a 4-year term as mayor of City of Bowie, Maryland. He is now the first African American to be elected mayor in the 138-year history of the city. So give it up for Mr. Adams.
Thank you so very much, Alamai. Good evening, everyone. Oh, even with the mask on, you could give me better than that. Good evening, everyone. All right, that's great. Well, I'm so very happy to be here with you tonight. It's great when a vision becomes a reality. In September of 2020, the City Council created the Bowie Youth Council to represent you, the youth of Bowie, and to focus attention on some of the important issues affecting you today. Despite the complications of the pandemic, this remarkable group of young men and women have hit the ground running, and that you have. They have been out in the community, they've briefed the City Council, and they're listening to their friends and neighbors and classmates about how we can help you and improve opportunities for youth in Bowie. I welcome you this evening. I welcome this first Youth Town Hall. But most of all tonight, I'm here to listen. I encourage you to share your thoughts about Bowie. What do you want? What do you need? What concerns you? And what makes you happy here? Let me just conclude by saying I am honored to be here with all of you. You may still be figuring things out, and that's okay. Or you may already have big plans for the future. But I feel certain that I am in the presence of those who will be our very best hope for a brighter tomorrow. Again, thank you for allowing me to be here, and thank you for hosting this first Youth Town Hall.
Thank you, Mayor Adams. It's always a pleasure to see you, and we thank you for coming out to support our first ever Youth Town Hall. Thank you for your leadership in our great city. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a lyrical treat for you. I want you guys to stand up on your feet as we vibe with this talented young artist who hails from Washington, D.C. Her name is Zaya Brown, and she goes by the name Fly Zaya. Now, I met Fly Zaya when she was, I think, around 6 years old. So this young princess blew my mind, and I would like to show her off to you guys today. She is now 10 years old, and let me tell you guys a little bit about her. So she's representing Washington, D.C. She began rapping at 2 years old and began to show early that she had not only a love for music, but a gift. Zaya released her first song, Ride My Bike, in June of 2018 when she was 6 and became the youngest winner of KYS Versus, hosted by Little Bacon Bear on WKYS 93.9. Since then, Zaya has been featured as a guest on NBC4, Fox 5 DC, WDV MTV, and her music has been played on radio stations such as WKYS 93.9, WPGC 95.5, WHUR 96.3, and WPFW 89.3. Zaya has shared a stage with the notable artists such as Rhapsody, Big Daddy Kane, and EU featuring Sugar Bear, while also gaining the recognition of many others. Instagram to the likes of Viola Davis and Tamika Mallory. 2021 was an awesome year for Zaya. She dropped her single, Dear DC, Go Go Version, in February, which is being played on the radio right now as we speak. The debut for her second mixtape, called Young, Black, and Gifted 2, was also a huge highlight and an exciting moment. In September 2021, Zaya was presented with the DC Mayor's Arts Award for Excellence in Youth Creativity, and in addition to many other awards received during the year. Zaya continues to impress and pay homage to those who have helped her along the way, and we all look forward to seeing what she will accomplish in the future. So I would like to welcome to the stage Fly Zaya.
Thank you so much, Shalomaya, and thank you to Bowie Youth Council for allowing me to do this. Hi, everyone. My name is Zaya, a.k.a. Fly Zaya. I'm 10 years old, and I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm going to be doing a spoken word, and it's called Optimistic, and it's about always keeping your head to the sky. Pick up a mic whenever, never stop the fight, no matter the weather. Mix black or white, we in this together. Never lose your sight, because the pressure, it's a village. We gotta do it all for the better. There's no limits, spread your wings, loosen your feathers. It's a feeling like Chick-fil-A, it's my pleasure. Start the healing, look within and find your treasure. Never say die, we plan to stay alive. Multiplying the wisdom and carry it to survive. This is real life, unemployment is on the rise. The government causing rumors, confusion, and spreading lies. These are real times. There's some thoughts that's on my mind, trying to reach the people, so I put it in rhymes. Denying us, Zeke will get away with a crime. Complying is only there if you're black in your prime. Never say die. Never say die. Ultra black like Nas, Illmatic when I spit it. My flow queen, so clean, custom fitted. All black everything, Rhapsody, I did it. Sounds of black in the back, I know you feel it. I write like Maya, lead like Harry, and my truth like Ruth Ginsburg, forever carrying. Inspire like Michelle, through wide generation, take over and prevail. With proper education, reach high and excel. Through any situation, you can never fail with the right determination. Do it well, time to tell, just be patient. The truest rebel against the war that we're facing. Equality is basic, time to open arms, get in line and embrace it. Equality is basic, time to open arms, get in line and embrace it. Thank you.
Give it up for Fly Zaya, everyone. That was awesome, Zaya. Good job. Awesome. Now that we've had that awesome performance by Fly Zaya, I would like to now go over some of the community guidelines for tonight. So as you guys can see on the screen, we have some community guidelines. So I want you guys to say "we will" when I read the guidelines. All right, awesome. So let's start. We will Be respectful of one another and have an open mind. The second one, feel safe to share our thoughts. Not judge anyone. All right, good job, guys. Awesome. So now that we've gone over our rules, I would like to have my vice chair, Enoch Amitayo, come up and do our overview.
Okay. This week's okay, great. You guys know I'm extra. But good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first Bowie Youth Council Town Hall. Like Shalamaya said, on behalf of the whole council, we are extremely grateful that you guys came out tonight. But with that being said, I just want to give you guys the overview of what's the purpose of the Bowie Youth Council. Like our mayor, Adams, already introduced. We are the first inaugural youth council that we have. And the funny fact is, like a week after we passed, the council passed ours, Greenbelt, the city of Greenbelt did the same thing. So as you can see, the wonderful things that Bowie are doing. All right, so the Bowie Youth Council provides an opportunity for local students to learn about local government and have a voice in city affairs. And when we say that, it's like when you say, although, we don't pay tax in our community, but at the same time, we are the future of the city of Bowie. So, it's best if we have a say before we actually start paying, so that when we do get to that channel when we're paying tax, it's not like, oh, this was going on, this is what's going on. But then we know we had some type of say before the actual problem started. So the Bowie Youth Council consists of 11 city booth students from grades 6 to 12 who have the opportunities to influence policy, provide positive leadership and service, and engage in community. Each of the 4 Bowie district is representative. And as you guys all know, as we move on tonight, you will figure out that all of the Bowie Youth Council are from District 1 all the way through 4. Next slide, please. All right. So our mission of the Bowie Youth Council has an important role in local government, and we know local government can get a little, itchy sometimes, but we try not to feed into government issues, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're here to address policy matters affecting city youth, such as youth jobs, voter registration, and so on. We the Youth hold base events. As we started our term last year, some of the events that we had the opportunity to be part of was the police night out, different event including our state attorney, and so on. The Bowie Youth Council also does bi-monthly reports to our city council, which I hope some of you guys have tuned in to. Most of those reports have been delivered by our awesome chair, Shalamaya. And we also have committee meetings, which is subcommittees that we create, such as the one that we created to form this town hall. And we also raise issues of concerns from, representative of our district. Next slide, please. So how do you join? How do you get involved? A lot of people think that when you say you want to commit to something, you're just doing it. But if you do want to actually, make a change, you have to become the change you see. So if you would like to join the Bowie Youth Council for the upcoming term, I'm not sure when Ms. Pfeiffer plans on releasing that, but I think it comes out around July. But I know you start your term in July. But you will have to visit the city of Bowie.org/youth council. And with the application process, it's really easy. You go through an interview with, the council members, and then, they follow through. And if you do get selected, you get, notified via email. But that's really how you get involved in the Bowie Youth Council. And, yeah.
Thank you, Enoch, for that. All right. Thank you, Enoch, for that. At this time, I would like to have Mayor Adams come up to help us with our introduction. So, Mayor Adams, if you would, please.
Shalimar is trying to give me an eye test here. You understand? So, let me introduce Shalimar Griffiths Johnson, who is currently a freshman in the 3D Scholar Program. He currently serves as the chairman for the inaugural Bowie Youth Council, parliamentarian for the Prince George's Regional Association of Student Governments, and a fellow for Young People for Progress. Shalimar is also active with Student Voices. He holds a national honor as a Dr. Martin D. Jenkins Scholar with the National Association for Gifted Children. Shalimar debated with the Washington Urban Debate League. He has won many awards. First place in the County National History Day, Dr. Martin Luther King Video Contest here in the city of Bowie, and has been recognized by Maryland Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford for his participation in the Biz Kids entrepreneurial program. He is an inspirational speaker and teen activist who is a voice for his generation. He speaks against injustices and advocates against bullying. He has shared the stage with city officials and elected leaders to speak against police brutality. Shalimar supports marches to evoke change in education and against racial injustices. In his spare time, which I wonder how much that is, he enjoys playing video games. He also loves competitive swimming, baseball, art, cooking healthy meals, and traveling. Shalimar enjoys all things technology at heart. Shalimar loves serving his community. His philanthropic work includes feeding the homeless, working with his Destination Imagination team to fill the local food pantry, doing kind acts for children with cancer at Children's Hospital, and sharing his love for STEM by teaching students in the community. His most memorable act of service was to fly to Puerto Rico to help the homeless and volunteer in an all-boys shelter. He is dedicated to using his voice as a catalyst of change for students who are marginalized and face challenges. Shalimar enjoys doing things that bring all communities together. Thank you, Shalimar.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hello, everyone. Yeah, sorry about that. It was kind of loud, right? Hello, everyone. Yours truly, Shalimar. Thank you guys for coming today, and let's have an awesome night. I would now like to introduce Enoch Amitayo. He is a sophomore attending PG County Public Schools. He was born and raised in Prince George's County throughout his middle school years, and he has held many leadership roles, such as being a member of the National Junior Honor Society, being elected to serve at the 6th and 7th grade Student Government Association, and being elected as a K through 8 School Student Government Association president during his 8th grade year. He currently serves as his class president and serves as the P-Grass treasurer. He values leadership as a mechanism to advance team performance and productivity and will continue to develop his own skills through the council. He has advanced through his future, and he plans on getting into the government field. He'll always continue in life knowing to have faith in good. Let's give it up for Enoch Amitayo.
Okay, again, good evening, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. So, a few facts about me. Like Shalmaya said, I serve on the Bowie Youth Council and have the honor to serve as the vice chair. A few things y'all should know. I love the youth council, but I'm telling y'all, we came a long way, y'all. We came a long way. Y'all need to give us a round of applause. Like, we really did. Like, with the thanks of Miss Pfeiffer and everyone else. But like I was saying, a few fun facts about me. Of course, I wish they put this on there, but I attend the best school in PG County, which is Flowers High School. No shade to Bowie High School. I still live in Bowie, but 3D Scholar student as well. And I love advocating. Like, I really actually do like making a change. I try my best because I feel like it's best that you try to make a change now so that when you are older, you don't have to worry about things that, you could have changed while you was younger. So, yeah. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our wonderful Annabelle Washington. Annabelle Washington is our parliamentarian for the Bowie Youth Council. She would like to make Bowie a more youth-friendly place during her time in the Youth Council. For example, by refraining the community centers and holding activities to get teens activities in the community. A fun fact about Annabelle is that she played 3 instruments.
Good evening, everyone. As Enoch said, I am part of the Bowie Youth Council and want to make sure we make it a more youth-friendly place. But now I will be introducing our secretary, Joelle. Jo is serving as the current Bowie Youth Council secretary. She is a junior in high school who is currently in a dual enrollment with Prince George's Community College and homeschools the rest of the time. She has aspirations to become a lawyer and an advocate for human rights. And as college soon approaches, her top schools are Georgetown, Yale, and the University of Pennsylvania. Juggling school and extracurriculars, Jo also works in the kitchen of Curate Annapolis, a cute coffee shop in downtown Annapolis. In her free time, she enjoys hanging out with friends and family and badly playing video games.
Hello. I will be introducing our social media representative, Sabrina Lucier. Give it up for Sabrina. Sabrina Lucier is the social media representative of the inaugural Bowie Youth Council. Her past and present leadership roles include the Student of the Year candidate for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, a 3-year team captain of the Blue Streaks. How do you say that, Sabrina? Futsal Club, Social Studies Scholars President, and Student Leadership Award recipient of 2019. She is a member of the IB Diploma Program and the National Honor Society and the National Arts Honor Society and St. Mary's Scholars. She has received various awards for her dedication to the study of the German language and has earned the DS-D1 and AATG Level 4 language proficiencies. She is passionate about studying the social sciences and working towards policy change in housing and environmental issues facing her community. She enjoys hiking, photography, and musical theater in her spare time.
Hi guys, thank you Joe for that lovely introduction. I will be introducing our next council member, Tyler Dawkins. Tyler Dawkins is in the 10th grade and an inaugural member of the Bowie Youth Council. He works as a volunteer with the Howard University Sports Media Department due to his love of sports. And additionally, in his spare time, he works towards his goal of earning the Congressional Award, the American Congress's highest honor for young Americans. He's passionate about initiating change in his community and wants to do so through inspiring service among his peers. Tyler?
Hello, everyone. I wish I was as successful as everybody else on the panel because they had a lot. But next, I'll be introducing Aidan Gunn. He's one of our council members. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here tonight, but he is 16, and he is currently serving on the Bowie Youth Council. He also has experience as a youth advisor for the National Hockey League. He has a vested interest in all sports, but hockey is easily his favorite. He has a passion for writing, public speaking, and journalism. Aidan is a great self-proclaimed saltwater taffy enthusiast and loves cooking as a whole. He's excited by the prospect of representing the youth's interests and hopes to further advocate for his peers. He loves public service, hates room temperature cheese, and is thrilled to be a member of the council. So next we have Olivia Liddy. She's from District 3, and she's a junior in high school. She's lived in Bowie her entire life and is thrilled to be serving on this year's council. She is passionate about the arts and has been dancing for 11 years. In her spare time, she also really enjoys cooking.
Thank you, Tyler. So next, I will introduce Stephanie Maseko. Stephanie Maseko is a council member of the Bowie Youth Council. She represents the youth in the 2A district in Bowie and is a sophomore at Bowie High. She has been a lifetime resident of Bowie. It's her home. And she surrounds herself in progressive and selfless activities, such as serving as the class of 2024 president at Bowie High School, is a resident anchor on her school's broadcast show, The Bulldog Bulletin, and has debated for 5 years, is a committee member of the City of Bowie Outreach Committee, and she is working on multiple political campaigns this year. As far as her future, she wants to pursue a career in sports journalism. So if you don't see her around enough, you can catch her at her favorite team stadium, Prince George's Stadium, here in Bowie. She is proud to be working on the Youth Council and is excited to continue her time on it. Some goals she has with the council is more youth input, more youth presence in the city gatherings, and assistance to speed up and make progress more efficient.
Thank you, Olivia. And I'll have to add on to Enoch's point that Bowie is the best high school in Prince George's County. I have to rep that. But introducing our next member is Gabrielle Mcallister. She's a member of the Bowie Youth Council. She's involved in speech and debate, crew, gospel choir, and BSU. In addition, she has been training as a vocalist and pianist for over 9 years. She is enrolled in a creative writing course at the University of Maryland to pursue her passion of literature and writing, and loves learning new things. She is passionate about humanities and the arts, and wants to bring more awareness to the necessity and benefits of diversity. Gabrielle intends to use her position on the council to share her passions with her peers.
Hi, again. I'm Council Member Gabrielle Mcallister, and I will be introducing Council Member Alexander Saxton, who unfortunately was unable to be with us today. So Council Member Saxton is an 11th grader and a current member of the Bowie Youth Council. At school, he is a student ambassador and peer leader. His hobbies include playing basketball with his friends and reading. He is very excited to be connecting with other youth within the city of Bowie during his term and looks forward to acting as a bridge between them and policy making. Thank you.
All right, everyone. I will now be introducing our advisors, Ms. Davina Hurt with District 3. Ms. Davina has a passion for serving people and developing youth. Davina T. Hurt is an educator with over 2 decades of experience preparing youth for college and careers. Davina is also a community health worker and has established a newsletter that delivers information to support a holistic lifestyle. Ms. Davina.
I will now introduce my co-advisor, Tamika Washington. Tamika Washington is a community activist and longtime resident of Bowie, Maryland. She was one of the driving forces behind the creation of the Bowie Youth Council, with the goal of providing an opportunity for young people to become engaged and active members of this great city. She has worked for the federal government for almost 2 decades and is married to Arthur Washington, a lieutenant in the Baltimore City Fire Department. They have 2 children, Annabelle and Aaron. Fun fact, Miss Washington loves to travel, with some of her favorite destinations being, am I going to say this way, Petra? Yeah, you see, I didn't go. Jordan, Paris, France, and anywhere in Puerto Rico or St. Kitts, which is where her father and mother are from, respectfully. Ms. Tamika Washington.
Awesome. Awesome. I would like to now just name a few people. In the room, we have Chief John Nesky, our police chief, City of Bowie. We have Miss Wendy Wilcox. And I also see Councilmember Steve, Councilmember Adrian Boafa. We also have Miss Ingrid Harrison, Miss Roxy and Ndebumadu, and excuse me, we have Deforah Wolfley, and yeah, so give it up to those people who work for our city. Oh, and Mayor Adams.
The first person that we do have, our first topic is school safety and truancy. And our chief, John Nesky, okay, began his career 28 years of law enforcement experience as a military police officer in the United States Army. After graduating from the University of Maryland with a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice, Chief Nesky began his civil law enforcement career with the city of District Heights. While at District Heights, he honored his community policing skills and aggressively sought out new challenges. While working as a patrol officer, he received numerous including Officer of the Year and American Legion Law Order Award. In 2006, he was appointed as Chief of Police for the city of District Heights. In 2007, he took the position of Deputy Chief of Police with the newly created City of Bowie Department. He was the second person hired assisting the design, creation, and implementation of the Bowie Police Department under the motto of serving with integrity. In March of 2011, he was appointed as Chief of Police for the City of Bowie and continued to focus on serving the community as the department moves forward into the future. Chief Nesky is also active in the law enforcement torch run as the City Director of Special Olympics Maryland as a member of the Board of Directors. Chief Nesky is a past president of the Prince George's Chief Association and immediate past president of the Maryland Chief of Police Association. With that being said, long bio. I welcome our phenomenal City of Bowie, Chief Dinesky.
So the first thing I realized is I got to step my biography game up. These guys are 1/3 my age and have better biographies than I do, so I need to work on that a bit. But thank you very much for inviting me out here. I've kind of seen these guys since they've started, since the very first thing they did was help with our Moonbounds at National Night Out. And I'm just thrilled to be here as they keep moving forward. The term juvenile has been in the news quite a bit lately, and not in a good way. We see juvenile crime on the rise, especially as it surrounds carjackings and violent crime. So what's disappointing is it's much like police work. Juveniles are in the news for negative things, but we have some here doing amazing positive things and setting the tone for the future. And it'll be curious to see how much coverage they get. So I'm very excited to be here. One of the things that we realized very quickly is this is a tough demographic to get a hold of. And these are the folks that, the age bracket that we need to be conversing with. And notice I said conversing. I didn't say anything about enforcement. I didn't say anything about putting handcuffs or criminalizing behavior. I'm talking about discussions. One of the things that impressed me the most was when we started having these demonstrations, we started having conversations around George Floyd, equity in policing, equity in the community. These young people stood up and said some hard truths that some people don't want to hear. But they did it with integrity and passion, and that's what we need. When we look at some of the challenges facing youth, especially around truancy, especially around some of the activities that we've been dealing with fights around the high school, and the lack of the skills needed to mitigate conflict and how to navigate a post-pandemic world. I don't think there's a coincidence between the rise in some of the issues that we're having, especially as it surrounds violent crime in the juvenile community, and what we've gone through as a nation. The lack of hope that some of our young people are experiencing. So when you don't have hope, you don't have anything to look forward to. If you don't have anything to look forward to, you have nothing to lose. So let's go take a car. Let's go do some kind of other behavior that we shouldn't be doing, because what do I got to lose? I don't have anything to look forward to begin with. So this is where we start to need to have these conversations, and I'm going to ask and expect you guys to act as a bridge to get us in front of some of these folks that we need to have talks with. And we need to get ahead of it. We need to have those conversations. The stuff that we saw at the high school, the fights that were pre-organized, and we're going to come. Some people didn't even go to that school. All that stuff centers around a lack of communication skills and a lack of ability to mitigate conflict and disagreements. This is where we need to start. This is where we need to open the dialogue. This is where we need to be involved as police in that dialogue, not as an enforcement. And one of the things that we learned I learned very, very early on, if you think like a hammer, every problem looks like a nail, right? So we've worked very hard here in Bowie to have a bunch of tools in our toolbox. Now, there's a hammer in there. There certainly is. But it's certainly not our go-to. And it's the last thing we ever want to try to use is that hammer. So we try to use all of our tools in our toolbox. But when we're looking at youth, we're looking at specific issues. I tell you what, I am so glad I'm old and not trying to grow up in the environment that some of these young people are navigating right now. Between social media and the pressures of social media, what used to be one argument turns into 20 arguments and lasts for days and weeks and months. Because the minute you think you have it squashed, somebody posts something else and it picks back up again. And these guys have to navigate that, and it's tough. And Wendy, I'm sorry if I'm stealing some of your material here, but we need to have these outreaches. We need to have these sit-downs. The last thing I want to do is see a juvenile or a youth when they're in trouble. I don't want to be on the back end of something. I want to be on the front end of a conversation, so that when something does kick off and something does happen, we've got a modicum of trust and we've got a modicum of a relationship that we can talk things through and maybe find different directions to go. So I will close with this. I really want to see this as an opportunity. Let's take this board and this council, let's move it forward. Let's reach out. Let's do some things together. Let's get us in front of some people that we can start to have conversation with. Lord knows there's enough mistrust around policing, and some of it has been well earned. So we need to kind of clear those decks. We need to get those conversations going. And again, these are hard conversations that we look forward to having. It's no fun having a conversation with two people who agree with each other. The only time you find improvement and forward momentum is sometimes when you have a little bit of conflict and a little bit of conflicting ideas. So I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor and cleaning up our mess in a couple years. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Nesky, for that. All right, guys, we did get a little bit off the agenda tonight, but we're back at it. So now I would like to have Wendy Wilcox, which is our Youth Services Director. So the Youth Services Bureau serves the citizens of Bowie by providing counseling services for families, groups, and individuals to promote positive youth development, improve parent-child interactions, prevent juvenile delinquency, and reduce family conflict. Ms. Wendy Wilcox holds a BS from Ithaca College in New York in psychology, and an MS from the University of Maryland in marriage and family therapy. She's been employed by the city of Bowie for over 27 years, guys. For 19 years as a family counselor, and for the last 8 years as a director. So let's give it up for Ms. Wendy Wilcox.
We're running short of time, aren't we? So I want to just say a few things. First of all, thank you for inviting me to come talk. What a wonderful example of resilience and talent in the city, both behind the table and in the audience. So thank you for holding this event. And so I'm just going to say a few things. This has been a hard time for kids, right? There has been the pandemic, which has caused isolation and grief and fear and worry. There's been racism and hate that all of our community has been dealing with, but especially kids. And it's quite correct to say that we're in the middle of a mental health pandemic that especially is affecting our young people. The statistics bear that out nationwide and also locally. And what I want all of you to know is that we are here for you. We have support available in a lot of different ways. Bowie Youth and Family Services, as you heard, provides family counseling, individual and group. Also counseling for everyone that lives in this community. People can call and get help if they don't know what to do. And we're not the right place for them. We can find the right place for you to get the help you need. We have groups running in the schools. We have a teen mentoring program whose coordinator is right in the office, or in the audience, Amanda Pumphrey, about 5 rows back. So we have adults that are ready to support you also in non-therapeutic ways. We have groups in the schools. We have groups in the evenings. We have parenting groups. And we have a number of other things that we have going to support you in the future, such as life skills groups to help you with getting skills for employment and for your further education. So please, we have lots of information in back for you. And I also want to mention that on May 4th in the evening, we have an online program which is a different kind of youth forum than this one. We are going to be featuring the film Angst, which is a psychoeducational film about anxiety, and it's part of launching a conversation about these feelings that are coming up for people are normal. There are ways to get help, and the great thing about the film is the feature of Michael Phelps and his own journey through dealing with anxiety and depression and how he found assistance for himself. So there will be a Q&A after that. We will have our licensed therapists there to answer questions that people have. It's for parents, it's for kids of all ages from 10 and up. Please come, and we're interested in seeing you there and hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilcox. So now on the agenda, we can now move on to our call to action, which is actually, excuse me, going off the agenda again. Can you believe me, right? Now we would like to have closing remarks from Councilmember Ingrid Harrison. Never mind, again. So yes, we will actually be having our call to action, which is open to the public. So around the room, you guys can see, I've pointed them out, some places where you can place some sticky notes, write your ideas, write your thoughts, write your concerns that are happening in the city of Bowie. Unfortunately, this is youth only. So yeah, if you parents want to, if you adults want to, you guys can come to our City of Bowie meetings at the thank you at the City Hall. Yeah, unfortunately, our council members will not be able to take any questions tonight. But if you write it on the board, or come to our meetings, or come to the city's meetings, we will be welcome to answer them then. So thank you. So you guys can stand up if you guys have anything you want to talk about.
And just before we get to start moving, so like Shalamaya said, in the back we have one question, which is, what do you want to see from the Bowie Youth Council? And the reason there's only really one question is because that question is really what we're going to focus on tonight. But as you guys all know, we had two other categories, which was school safety and truancy, and then also mental health. So with that being said, we want to have like an engaging conversation. And you know, parents, there is some parents here, y'all can tip in, but we really want to hear from the youth. And one thing I don't want to do is call on people. So when we do ask the question, you guys do have to be engaging. So with that being said, we're going to sit here, we're going to relax, but at the same time, we're going to engage with you guys, if that makes sense. Okay? So before I go back, the first question is, how do you guys feel about school truancy? So, okay, so I'm going to sit down, and then I'm going to call on someone if no one raises their hand. And Chief Naneski, if you don't mind, before we start the conversation, can you define what exactly is school truancy? Okay, great. Thank you. So does anyone want to go ahead and start off with the conversation? Yes, sir.
Can we please use the microphones?
I'm sorry. My question was, do you guys feel that schools, because this is not only a city of Bowie issue, but this is all around. Do you feel like schools do not have safety measures in place for when students are, getting caught or, leaving school property?
So, at my school, well, if you didn't show up, due to me being dual enrolled, we are all over. It's about a half square mile campus. So someone could be anywhere. So there's no person who comes to talk to you. You get an email, if you didn't show up for a class or you didn't fill out the form. I can't really speak for other schools.
Do you feel as if do you have any ideas how to update this attendance issue at not just your school, but schools all around?
Perhaps when you enter the school, there could be a sign-in sheet, or perhaps like at my school, we all carry ID cards already. Perhaps if there was a small chip that you could scan when you entered the school, just to say that you were there.
But don't you think that could actually we could still have the issue of people skipping class? You can be in the school building and be in the bathroom or be somewhere else or be in a library and still not be showing up to class. So how do you fix the issue of people not actually showing up to class? Because being at school, yeah, that's great because you're supposed to be at school, but you're actually supposed to be learning something. The purpose of school is to learn, and so you can go to college or not go to college or have a career. So with you being at school, if you're not learning anything or not in class and actually engaging, then it's not doing anything.
Okay. So I have first-hand experience in this. From middle school into high school, I did skip class from here and there, skip school, things like that. From experience, I can tell you a lot of times it's simply because there are no breaks. There's no true answer to how can we not get students to skip school, skip class, because it's kind of wonderful. We're going to do it. Maybe we can lower the numbers, but realistically, I think it's on the mental health side. A lot of us, I know, I go to Bowie High School. We're in class for about 90 minutes at a time. And there's only a 5-minute period in between each class, minus lunch, which is 30 minutes, that we can maybe talk to a friend or roam the hallways. And for people that maybe don't even live in Bowie, they live in the harsher areas, and there's a lot of stress no matter where you are in this country, in this world in general, you need that time. And that is why they leave school. Never say any names, but I know a person who every day when I'm transitioning from any class, I see him in the same spot in the hallway. He's charging his phone. He's never in class. And I know he has a rough time. And no one tells him to go to class because they know he has a rough time. But I'm curious to know, what are they doing for him? Are they, checking up on him? Are they giving him a place to go? Or is he just going to stand in this hallway for the rest of the school year? I think that should be the question now.
Okay, so as I also go to Bowie, we experienced the schedule change that happened this week. Previously, we had the advisory period. Do you think that the advisory period was a good thing to help students, I guess, stay engaged or have that time to relax? And do you think that's something that we should be seeing for more schools?
The advisory period was the best thing Bowie High School ever had, in my opinion. I took this time to really grow as a person. Beginning part of the year, I never smiled. During the advisory period, I was able to speak to teachers, and not just about schoolwork, but have deep conversations with them and get perspective. Maybe I had something personal going on, and I was able to go to a teacher that I could confide in, or maybe I just needed to get some work done, whatever it was. And now that we only have this advisory period on one day of the week during the first period, I do think that's going to be a hindrance to a lot of us, especially considering we've had this advisory period the entire year. So for the people that really utilize that time every day to have some type of important experience, what are they going to do now?
Before I pass on the torch for this discussion, I was told to define the advisory period for everyone else who doesn't have one or know what it is. Basically, at Bowie High, it was about, 45 minutes of study hall in your designated third period class. And this is where you could either talk to other teachers or talk to your designated teacher and catch up on missing work, or just have a time to just relax, as she said, because there is a lot of time that we're putting into these classes, and it's a lot of stress, and half the time it's inconsistent on whether or not the teachers will be teaching the whole, I think it's about 90 to 110 minutes per class now due to the new schedule change, but that's overwhelming for a young adult to go through for about 6 to 7 hours straight of constant lecturing. And so that's why we brought up the advisory period. And I do agree that it was abrupt, especially since we've been doing it for the first 3 quarters, to change it now. And whether or not it's something that we should be bringing to a broader spectrum of how we should be handling more free time in schools. And not free time, but times to work on yourself and not always be so crammed. Just wanted to say.
Okay, so I wanted to say one more thing before we end the topic of school truancy. I don't go to a PG County public school, so I don't really know about the advisory period, but it seems to me the attention span is not long enough to learn about one thing for 90 minutes. I feel like it should be multiple breaks throughout the day, whether it's a 10-minute break or a 15-minute break, but it should be between classes, and classes should not be that long. The school was initially set up to, I learned that the schools were initially started to teach people how to work in factories. So I feel like school has almost become like a babysitting service. And so people send their children to school, but they don't worry about if they're getting their work turned in, or if they're showing up to class, or if they're behaving properly. So I feel like, number one, there should be more breaks. And maybe if students have more breaks, then they'd be able to be attentive. But also, I don't feel like school day should be as long.
I agree that breaks should also be prioritized, because I'm somebody who's attending Benjamin Tasker,
and I'm 13 years old, and I keep on getting like stress of any kind of work that we have. Like every single time that we have, when the quarter is gonna end, we're gonna have a bunch of projects, and even though that's kind of stressful for me, we're trying to do everything perfectly and trying to get to anybody's standards of like what they expect from you. So you're just trying to finish good as possible, and then to the point that you just leave yourself worked out of like all of the work. And once you have breaks, it feels like all of that weight and everything is gone. And for me, it's pretty stressful.
All right, thank you guys all so much for engaging in that conversation. And as you can see, truancy there's more to it than just, skipping class. There's a reason behind it. But before we go on, I'll allow you to speak.
I wanted to add on that it's not all about the length of the class, it's also how well the teacher is teaching the class. Because I found with one of the classes that I take, the teacher, she doesn't teach. It's the computer teaching the student. So that's another factor adding on to that.
Thank you, sir. I totally agree. But with that being said, we took notes, and, we're going to see how we can all improve. Because like we said, this is just not an issue in the city of Bowie. Chief Mesky, we'll try to find a way how we can connect and, work it out. All right, so with that being said, we're short on time, but before we go, there's still one more thing. So in the back, as we said, the question was, what do you want the Bowie Youth Council to go? And it will be a disaster if, we didn't hear what you guys want us to do. Not us, but also the upcoming council, if we are still here, or whoever, is next year's term, to know, so they can set their plans on how they want to propose. So it'll be great if every youth in this room take about 20 seconds and pass the mic around and tell us what they want to see from us. And we're actually going to start it off with the young lady right here. I'm sorry. All right. So then we'll start with the lady right there. The young lady right there. And don't be shy, y'all. Don't be shy. I mean, no one wanted to write, so we're going to have to be on the mic. And please, please, please keep it short. Thank you.
Okay. So
And if you guys don't mind, can you also state your name, your age, and if you want, you can also state what school you go to.
Okay. So my name's Geneva. I'm 12, and I go to DKFI in Greenbelt. Dora Kennedy French Immersion. And I see a lot of trash around the community, so I was wondering if you guys are going to do a project for that.
We do have people who work with the green team in the city of Bowie, and we've been working having separate trash cleanups that isn't specifically part of the Bowie Youth Council, but we do hear what you're saying. We do see the trash on the side of the road and in the parks. A couple weeks ago, Councilmember Harrison and I were at a trash cleanup in the Tanglewood Park, which is near Old Town Bowie. So we do hear what you're saying. We're working towards it. We work with the green team and the the Trails and Maps Committee. So we're working on it.
Hello everyone, my name is Luther Davis. I'm 14 and I go to Bowie High School. Okay, back to what she was saying about the skipping class. I do think that it is a mental health thing, and that think that the advisory period was very helpful, especially for people who are like me. I have ADHD, so it's very hard for me to focus and pay attention during my classes. So during the advisory period, I could take breaks myself and still work was very helpful. Also, like to say, I'm very proud of Shelamiah over here, my good man's. Very proud for him. Everything he's done, very successful. Very proud of him.
Thanks for that, Luther.
Your sister.
Oh.
I agree with what Luther said about the mental health thing. A lot of teachers say they're there for us about it, but they continue to give more and more work, and a lot of the time the teachers aren't completely teaching us, and they just expect us to depend on the computer and other students for things. But they also don't give us the chance to talk to them all the time. So
Great. Thank you.
One thing I want to see you guys do is any type of change, big or small, it all matters. Just any type of change that you can help with.
One change that I'm looking forward to seeing in our schools is, less what was it, skipping class? Less of that, and hopefully giving the students more break time so that it's not as much mental stress. So that's all I think.
Thank you.
I think more teachers could change their teaching approach, because a lot of it is computer based, and a lot of kids can't really understand.
Thank you.
I was thinking maybe more time to complete assignments, because with all the classes that we have, it kind of gets overwhelming to finish them all, and with the time, the deadlines, it has a really big effect on people's mental health and how they live their lives day to day. It would just be a lot of less stress if we could have more extensions on assignments.
Thank you.
I would like to see more science and arts programs. And for the thing about having extra time between classes, I think that would really help to refocus and regroup. And that teachers should be more understanding to the students and think more about how they're going to get through the work if they have other projects or other classes, because the work really builds up.
Thank you.
I want to see more teachers actually teaching students, because what I noticed at my school is when teachers actually teach the students and it's not a computer, the students seem to respect the teacher more. But then when the teacher is actually teaching just using a computer, they post the assignments online and then go, the students don't actually respect the teacher as much. And I also want to see more break periods, because what I learned is that when students have more break periods, they actually are more focused and concentrated in class.
Thank you. And also, just to add something, one thing I'm hearing is literally with the whole school thing, just so that we can short it down because due to time, if someone already said something when it comes to teaching, it would be appreciated if you guys didn't repeat that. And if that is what you plan on saying, you can just pass the mic to the next person. Thank you.
In my if the teachers could care about the students when they do their work, that's sometimes the students don't do their work and they don't learn about every stuff that we do at school. And they just want to go to school and hang out with their friends. And that's it.
Thank you.
Wait, I forgot. Wait. I really believe that we should have. Wait, I think somebody already said this, but I think we should still have more time to do assignments because, like, every time when a teacher tells you that you have to finish it in this mod or this class time, then you just feel pressured of like you're not going to be able to finish it or do it correctly. And like I had a teacher who kept on saying that, and then I didn't even do well on my assignments, and then she always said, "I want my work." I'm like, "We're not gonna have time if we can't even finish your work in this little bit amount of time." And even though, like, few months later, he's not there anymore because he had to go to a hospital or something. But still, we don't even get the proper education after because all our teachers are gone because we had a bunch of substitutes and we just go off the book.
So just to reiterate what Vice Chair Amitayo said, can we speak on other areas like youth jobs or voter registration instead of staying on the topic about school, because the town hall meeting is not specifically about school-related issues. It's about issues that affect all youth in the city of Bowie. And not all City of Bowie youth go to a City of Bowie public school. Maybe they go to a private school. Maybe they're homeschooled. So let's not limit ourselves or put ourselves in a box of just speaking on school. Let's talk about things that affect us as a whole.
Sorry.
Oh, no, not just to you.
One thing I'd like to see you guys do is organize different physical activities for the youth.
I was gonna say that as well.
Sorry, just a question. By physical activities, do you mean like organized sports? Because I know we have, I forgot what. Bowie Boys and Girls, which I was a part of for a lot of time when I was younger in elementary school and middle school. Do you mean like pick up sports games or like organize exercise classes, or do you have a specific thing that you're trying to see?
I'd like to see both, in my opinion.
Probably something that I would like to see you guys do is like community jobs for people who are 14 and 15, because I've seen like places like Burger King, Walmart, all that stuff, they only provide jobs for people who are 16 and up, so that would be nice.
Well, first thing is, I would just say what we're doing right now. Like, I think this might be one of the most important things we can do. Because it's not often that as young people we get a voice. This is my first time doing this. But as of recently, I have been advocating in my school, and sending emails to, officials and things like that. And I would say kind of not just in our schools, but in the community in general, opening the doors for everyone to be in, I guess, places of power. Like, for an example, in my school right now, they're trying to figure out a way, how can the adults encourage us, and since as young people we love social media, they want to do that through social media. And a lot of us, at Bowie High School, I don't know about any other school, but we have a social media culture, I'll say that, and it's very negative, And, one thing I suggested was we could, like, if you knew the person who, liked to have their Twitter fingers, we could maybe have, like, some club or something where they could be the ones that's putting out information for the schools, for the county. And not only is that giving them something to do, and it goes back to, just not being in school, it gives you something to do. But they're doing something beneficial and good. And I feel like schools are not necessarily built, like, I don't know what she was saying, but in the black shirt, you were saying how schools were built for people to work in factories. And that's really what a lot of us are experiencing right now. So we just open the door for those things and give these students an opportunity to express what they're good in. More good will come for our society than bad.
I agree. I feel like everyone needs an outlet. And I feel like, yes, people can use their outlets negatively and people can use their outlets positively. Like, as of me, I'm a good talker and I do speech and debate. But, like, I have a problem with my mouth sometimes, especially when I was younger. Like, I used to have temper tantrums. I used to I just used to blow up on people. But now I use, I'm still on a journey. So it's not like I can't turn around and do it. But, like, I just feel like everyone needs an outlet. So now I channel my wordsmithism into ways like speech and debate and being on this panel and being on the youth council instead of, checking people. So, yeah.
I also have a question for you as well, because you were talking about how, like, the town hall is the most important thing we could be doing. In other ways in the town hall, like, what are some alternatives or additional things we should be doing to outreach to our youth that you think would be beneficial? Well, I think we should bring this into the schools. Even though, this isn't all about school, but we spend most of our time in school. And I feel like town hall should be a regular thing that we do. I was told that years ago it was something they had. I don't know why they stopped. But that, I forgot everything else I said, but basically.
And I know we have lots of things to say, but please remember to keep it short because we are running short on time. And put your ideas on the boards in the back. Thank you.
Hello. I find that increasingly more and more, my life either revolves around school, preparing for college, and any remaining time I spend sleeping, if any. I feel that there's no gap, there's no free time, even on the weekends, and for me to pursue casual activities, means relaxation, fun, anything remotely, anything that isn't like education related. And I feel that like we could resolve a majority of our issues if we actually had like even a sliver of free time.
I think that there should probably be more job opportunities and STEM opportunities outside and inside of school, because at my school I haven't really seen many like courses or classes to deal with STEM or anything of the sorts.
I think like something that could help is like maybe like one-on-one therapy sessions. Like I know none of you guys have licenses or anything, but I feel like it helps. I feel like it helps talking to people who struggle with the same thing as you. It doesn't have to be like, I'm sitting in a chair, you're sitting in a chair. It could be playing like cards, playing a game or something, just talking about life and stuff
So not just at school, but around the community, I've noticed that with a lot of teenage peers after the pandemic, like there's been a lot of social anxiety. So one thing it'd be cool for you guys to do are like just activities like cookouts or games for students of our age to get together and just get to build bonds with each other and to be able to have a better sense of confidence and for them to be able to have a voice to advocate.
Thank you, everyone, for your comments and concerns. I would also like to add one last thing. I would like to see the city change gas prices because I'm about to start driving, and these gas prices are just too expensive. And my mom's car takes premium gas. Like I can't do that. But now I will pass it on to Shelamaya.
So yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys. Thank you everyone for talking today, and yeah, we had a really great turnout, and I would like you guys to all get up and put your ideas on the sticky note board so that we can actually look into these concerns that you all have. So we can now move on to our call of action. Oh, of course.
I just want to say, based on your response, you had talked about like opportunities for STEM. The city of Bowie did just launch an online job program this week on Monday. So if you go to, we launched a partnership with Coursera where we have access to Coursera and we're giving people access to Coursera. So that if there is a skill that you are looking to learn based off of getting a job in the future or whatever that looks like for you, you can go to the City of Bowie's website. It'll say online job training, and then you can just apply to get access to a Coursera license. And on there it has like 5,000 courses with all the top tier institutions and companies for whatever skill. So if you talk about STEM, all of those learnings are on there. So just go to the website.
All right, so now we can move on to the call of action. So everyone, please go up on the sticky note board, place the concerns that you all just talked about, and yeah, let's have a good time. Let's socialize, and let's just talk about what we want in the city of Bowie. Now I would like to have Miss Ingrid Harrison come speak on the call to action as well.
I don't really want to make this about me or the council. This is really about these young people and all of the young people that came out here tonight. So I just want you all, really, I applaud yourselves, but applaud these courageous young people sitting up here that have really done a phenomenal job putting this together. And we really need more courageous conversations like this. This is a safe space for you all. We want to keep it a safe space. We want to keep doing this. And it has just been wonderful to hear your voices out here this evening. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And thank you, Shelamaya, for leading the way. And all of you all for leading the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. All right, so you guys were here. We had an amazing turnout. We had an amazing day. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. I want to thank my youth council for being such an awesome team and just being a great help to me all around. I want to thank the city of Bowie, everyone here who has come to support us, everyone in the background, our city officials. Just thank you all for everything you do for us in our city and allowing us to be here today to talk about our youth issues that we have. So, yeah, let's get some refreshments. Let's engage.